As dusk cloaks New York City, neon lights shimmer on rain-slicked streets, casting a restless glow over Manhattan's pulse. Amid the crowd, Ethan Caldwell, a single-dad millionaire, strides with the weight of his empire on his shoulders. But what halts this untouchable man in his tracks? A trembling figure huddles on the sidewalk. Sophia Lane, his childhood love, now a struggling single mother, her twin daughters clinging to her tattered coat. Her weary eyes, etched with despair, meet his, igniting a heart-pounding collision of past and present. Why does Ethan, a man who guards his secrets as fiercely as his wealth, risk everything for her? A shadow lingers behind his fortune, a mystery waiting to unravel. With each raindrop, the stakes rise, promising a billionaire romance laced with hidden truths. Follow this channel to uncover the secrets that bind Ethan and Sophia in a dance of love and danger. As dusk cloaks New York City, neon lights shimmer on rain-slicked streets, casting a restless glow over Manhattan's pulse. Amid the crowd, Ethan Caldwell, a single-dad millionaire, strides with the weight of his empire on his shoulders. But what halts this untouchable man in his tracks? A trembling figure huddles on the sidewalk. Sophia Lane, his childhood love, now a struggling single mother, her twin daughters clinging to her tattered coat. Her weary eyes, etched with despair, meet his, igniting a heart-pounding collision of past and present. Why does Ethan, a man who guards his secrets as fiercely as his wealth, risk everything for her? A shadow lingers behind his fortune, a mystery waiting to unravel. With each raindrop, the stakes rise, promising a billionaire romance laced with hidden truths. Follow this channel to uncover the secrets that bind Ethan and Sophia in a dance of love and danger. Manhattan streets pulse with restless energy as dusk settles, the air thick with the scent of wet pavement and the hum of 1,000 hurried footsteps. Neon signs flicker, casting jagged reflections across the crowded sidewalks where Ethan Caldwell, a single-dad millionaire, cuts through the throng. His tailored coat brushes past strangers, his jaw set, eyes fixed on the horizon of his empire. A ruthless CEO, Ethan has built a fortress around his heart, his wealth a shield against a past he refuses to revisit. Yet, as he rounds a corner, a faint whimper stops him cold. There, crouched against a graffiti-stained wall, is a woman, her tattered scarf barely shielding her from the evening chill. Two small girls, twins no older than 4, cling to her, their wide eyes mirroring her exhaustion. Ethan's breath catches. It's Sophia Lane, the girl who once haunted his teenage dreams, now a shadow of the vibrant spirit he adored from afar. Her face, smudged with dirt, carries the weight of unspoken tragedies. Lily and Rose, her twins, huddle closer as Sophia whispers reassurances, her voice trembling with love and desperation. Ethan's heart twists, a pang he hasn't felt in years. In high school, Sophia barely noticed him, her laughter a distant melody as she brushed off his clumsy attempts to win her attention. Now, she is here, broken and vulnerable, a single mother fighting to survive. His polished shoes pause on the pavement, the world blurring around him. Why does this moment feel like fate? As a single-dad millionaire, Ethan knows the cost of opening old wounds. She hesitates, her fingers clutching the frayed edges of her coat. The twins peer up at him, curious yet wary, their innocence a stark contrast to the city's harshness. Ethan's resolve hardens. He cannot leave them here, not in the cold, not when Sophia's eyes betray a story he needs to understand. With a swift call, his driver pulls up, the sleek black car a jarring intrusion on the gritty street. Sophia's resistance falters as Lily's soft sob echoes, and she nods, defeated yet defiant. Ethan guides them into the car, his hand steadying Sophia's elbow, a touch that sends a shiver through them both. The twins curl against their mother, their small bodies sinking into the leather seats, already half asleep from exhaustion. The journey to Ethan's penthouse is silent, the city's lights streaking past like fleeting promises. Sophia stares out the window, her reflection a mask of guarded hope, while Ethan steals glances, his mind racing. Why is he doing this? As a millionaire dad, he's no stranger to charity, but this feels different, personal, dangerous. The elevator hums as it ascends to his sleek penthouse, a world of glass and marble that dwarfs Sophia's worn figure. She steps inside, her twins clutching her hands, their eyes wide at the opulence. Ethan's assistant, Clara, greets them at the door, her sharp gaze lingering on Sophia. "Ethan, are you sure about this?" Clara asks, her voice low, laced with warning. "You're reopening old wounds." Ethan brushes her off, but her words linger like a shadow. Clara, ever loyal, has seen the scars Ethan hides, scars tied to his past, to secrets he's buried beneath his wealth. She arranges a guest suite for Sophia and the twins, her efficiency masking her unease. Ethan leads them to a warm sitting room where a fire crackles, casting golden light across the twins' awe-struck faces. Sophia's shoulders slump, the fight draining from her as she watches Lily and Rose explore the plush rug. Ethan kneels beside them, offering a gentle smile that softens his usual intensity. "You're safe here," he says, his voice a quiet promise. Sophia's eyes meet his, a flicker of gratitude mingling with suspicion. As the twins settle, Ethan's mind churns. Sophia's presence stirs memories he's long suppressed, nights spent dreaming of her, days spent invisible in her shadow. Why is she here, reduced to begging? What broke her? The questions gnaw at him, each one a thread in a mystery he's determined to unravel. Clara's warning echoes, hinting at dangers Ethan can't yet see. Sophia, too, feels the weight of his gaze, her heart torn between gratitude and fear. She knows nothing of the single-dad millionaire beyond his wealth, yet his kindness unsettles her. A lifeline she's afraid to trust, yet something compels him to step closer. "Sophia," he murmurs, his voice barely audible over the city's din. She flinches, her gaze lifting slowly, eyes widening with recognition. For a fleeting moment, time collapses, and they are teenagers again, caught in the awkward dance of unrequited longing. But shame floods her expression, and she ducks her head, pulling her twins tighter. Ethan's chest tightens. He sees the hunger in Lily's tear-streaked face, the fear in Rose's trembling hands. Sophia's pride battles her despair, her lips parting as if to protest, but no words come. "You're coming with me," Ethan says, his tone firm, leaving no room for refusal. The penthouse of Ethan Caldwell glows with the tender embrace of a crackling fireplace, its golden light spilling across the living room, a sanctuary carved from the cold heart of Manhattan. Beyond the towering windows, the city hums beneath a starless sky, its restless pulse a distant murmur. Within these walls, time softens, wrapping Ethan, a single-dad millionaire, in a warmth he's long forgotten. He kneels on a plush rug, his crisp shirt sleeves rolled up, guiding Lily and Rose, Sophia Lane's 4-year-old twins, as they scribble lopsided stars with crayons. Their laughter, pure and unguarded, dances through the air, their tiny fingers brushing his in a fleeting, innocent trust. Sophia watches from an armchair, her worn scarf a fragile shield against the luxury that surrounds her. Her heart sways between gratitude and a gnawing unease, this marble-floored haven too perfect to feel real. Yet, as Ethan's deep chuckle weaves with her daughter's joy, a spark of hope flickers, delicate but fierce, daring her to believe. Ethan, a millionaire dad forged in solitude's fire, feels his defenses crumble under the twins' radiant innocence. Lily's bold crayon strokes and Rose's timid smiles pierce the armor he's worn for years, each giggle a chisel to his guarded heart. He steals a glance at Sophia, her face bathed in firelight, her eyes softened by a vulnerability that stirs memories of a younger, clumsier self, one who once dreamed of her from the shadows of high school halls. As a single-dad CEO, his world is one of calculated risks, but Sophia's presence is a leap into the unknown, a gamble he's drawn to despite the danger. He hands Rose a fresh sheet of paper, his fingers lingering near hers, and their gazes lock, a silent current passing between them, charged with unspoken longing. Sophia's breath hitches, her pulse quickening at the quiet tenderness in his eyes, a warmth that cuts through the wealth and whispers of something deeper. As night deepens, the twins' yawns signal the end of play. Ethan scoops them up, their heads nestling against his shoulders, their trust a weight both heavy and sweet. Sophia follows, her steps tentative, her fingers twisting the frayed edge of her scarf as they move to the guest suite. She tucks Lily and Rose into bed, their soft snores filling the room, a fragile peace settling over her. Ethan lingers at the doorway, his silhouette framed by the hall's soft light, and gestures toward the sitting room where the fire still burns. Stay a while, he says, his voice a gentle invitation, warm, coaxing. They settle on a leather sofa, the space between them alive with unspoken questions, the city's skyline twinkling beyond like a promise just out of reach. Sophia's gaze drifts to the lights, her heart heavy with the past she's carried alone. In a moment of rare courage, she lets her walls fall, her voice a whisper as she unravels her story. After high school, she fell for Jake, a dreamer whose charm painted her world in vivid hues. But when she revealed her pregnancy with the twins, his promises shattered, leaving her abandoned, her dreams crushed under the weight of betrayal. The words spill forth, raw and jagged, her eyes glistening with tears she's held back for years. Ethan listens, his jaw tight, a quiet storm brewing behind his steady gaze. As a millionaire dad, he's faced boardrooms and battles, but Sophia's pain awakens a fierce protectiveness, a need to shield her from further harm. He leans closer, his hand hovering near hers, a silent vow etched in the firelight. For a heartbeat, the world shrinks to just them. Two wounded souls bound by scars only they can see. Morning breaks, sunlight streaming through the penthouse, casting golden rays across the kitchen where Sophia pours juice for the twins. Their laughter echoes from the dining room, a melody of hope that steadies her. Ethan appears, his presence filling the space, his eyes bright with purpose. "Sophia," he says, his voice warm but resolute. "I want you to work for me. A job at my company. A chance to start over." Her eyes widen, doubt warring with the spark his words ignite. Pride battles hope, but the twins' joyful chatter tips the scale. She nods, a tentative smile breaking through, and Ethan's shoulders relax, as if a piece of his heart has found a home in her acceptance. Clara, Ethan's assistant, watches from the shadows, her sharp eyes narrowing. As a single dad CEO, Ethan relies on her instincts, but her unease about Sophia simmers, unspoken but palpable. Her heels click softly against the marble as she moves through the penthouse, her gaze flickering between her boss and his unexpected guest. Later, in Ethan's sleek office, she sorts through papers, her fingers pausing on a worn envelope tucked beneath contracts, its edges frayed from years of handling. Her brow furrows, but she slides it back, her silence a choice to protect Ethan's secrets. For now. That evening, Sophia steps into Ethan's office to thank him, her quiet strength a beacon in his chaotic world. He rises, offering her a chair, but as he shifts, a folded note slips from the desk, fluttering to her feet. She bends to retrieve it, her fingers grazing the paper. The scrawled words chill her. "Don't trust her." Her breath catches, her eyes darting to Ethan, who remains unaware, his focus on the city beyond the window. The fire's warmth fades, replaced by a creeping dread. Who penned this warning? Is it about her or another shadow in Ethan's life? She tucks the note into her pocket, her heart pounding, forcing a smile to mask the storm within. Ethan speaks of opportunities, his voice steady, but Sophia's thoughts spiral, tangled in doubt. As a millionaire dad, Ethan's kindness feels genuine, but the note hints at a darkness beneath his light. The penthouse, once a refuge, now pulses with secrets, each corner hiding a truth she's not sure she can face. She leaves the room, the note a burning weight in her pocket, heavier than the promise of a new beginning. In the quiet hallway, a clock ticks softly, its rhythm a countdown to a revelation that looms ever closer, waiting to shatter the fragile trust they've built. The glass walls of Ethan Caldwell's corporate office rise like sentinels over Manhattan, a gleaming fortress where ambition pulses through every corner. Inside, the air hums with restless energy. Phones chirping, heels clicking against polished floors, and deals forged under the weight of a single dad millionaire's empire. Ethan sits at his sleek desk, his tailored suit, a sharp contrast to the storm brewing beneath his composed exterior. His presence commands the room, a man who bends the world to his will with a single glance. Yet today, his thoughts churn, unsettled by the fragile trust he's built with Sophia Lane. Across the bustling office floor, Sophia navigates her new role, her fingers trembling as she sorts files, each movement deliberate but laced with the unease that's haunted her since finding the cryptic note. Don't trust her. The fluorescent lights cast stark shadows, mirroring the doubt that clings to her like a second skin. She pushes the thought away, anchoring herself to the thought of Lily and Rose, her twins, safe in Ethan's penthouse, their laughter a distant beacon in her turbulent world. Sophia's days have begun to settle into a rhythm, fragile but steady. By morning, she learns the intricacies of her administrative job, her sharp mind catching details that others overlook, earning quiet nods from colleagues. By evening, she returns to the penthouse, where the twins' crayon drawings adorn the fridge, their vibrant colors a stark contrast to the marble opulence. Ethan's presence weaves through these moments, his quiet smiles and gentle patience with Lily and Rose softening the edges of Sophia's guarded heart. As a millionaire dad, he balances the ruthlessness of boardroom battles with the tenderness of bedtime stories, his ease with her daughters a balm to her wary soul. Yet, the note's warning festers, a splinter she can't extract. She hasn't confronted Ethan, not yet, but each stolen glance between them carries a silent question. Is he the savior who lifted her from the streets, or a man hiding a truth that could break her anew? This morning, as Sophia organizes reports in a quiet corner of the office, her phone buzzes, the screen flaring with an unexpected message. Her breath catches as she opens it. A grainy photo of Ethan at an upscale restaurant, his head tilted toward a woman with striking cheekbones and a knowing smile. The caption cuts like a blade. He's not who you think. Sophia's pulse surges, her fingers tightening around the phone until her knuckles whiten. The woman's elegance, the intimacy of their posture, the secrecy of the captured moment. It's a betrayal that slices through the trust she's so carefully nurtured. Memories of Jake, her ex, flood back, his charming lies and abrupt abandonment as raw as the day he left her pregnant and alone. She stares at the image, the office's clamor fading to a muffled roar, her world narrowing to the sting of doubt. Is Ethan, the single dad CEO who offered her a lifeline, concealing a double life behind his polished facade? She slips the phone into her pocket, her mind a whirlwind of suspicion and resolve. Across the room, Ethan signs contracts with practiced precision, his focus unwavering, oblivious to the tempest raging in Sophia's heart. Clara, his assistant, glides through the office like a shadow, her sharp eyes catching the sudden stillness in Sophia's frame. Clara's loyalty to Ethan is unshakable, a bond forged through years of navigating his empire, but her cryptic warnings about his complicated past echo in Sophia's mind, each word a pebble in the growing pile of her unease. Gathering her courage, Sophia approaches Clara, her voice low, barely masking the tremor beneath. "Who does Ethan meet outside the office?" she asks, her words careful but edged with urgency. Clara's lips thin, her gaze flickering to Ethan's closed door, a silent barrier. "He's a private man, Sophia. Some things are better left alone," she replies, her tone smooth but laced with a warning that chills Sophia's blood. The evasion fuels her suspicion, the anonymous text blazing in her memory like a signal fire. By late afternoon, the office empties, leaving a hollow silence that presses against Sophia's resolve. She lingers, her work unfinished, her thoughts consumed by the photo's accusing glare. She finds Ethan alone in his office, the city skyline sprawling behind him, its lights flickering like 1,000 unanswered questions. He looks up, his smile warm but fleeting, as if sensing the shift in her demeanor. Sophia's heart thunders, the weight of the note and the text pressing against her chest, urging her forward. She steps closer, her fingers gripping the edge of his desk for strength. "Ethan," she begins, her voice steady despite the quake within. "Are you meeting people behind my back?" The question hangs like a storm cloud, the air between them thickening with unspoken fears. Ethan's brow furrows, his eyes searching hers, a flicker of surprise giving way to a guarded stillness. He leans back in his chair, a single dad millionaire accustomed to deflecting scrutiny, his posture a shield against her probing gaze. "It's just business, Sophia. Nothing more," he says, his tone clipped, almost dismissive. But the slight hesitation in his voice, the way his fingers tighten around his pen, betrays a crack in his armor. Sophia's chest constricts, her fear of betrayal clawing at her. Jake's ghost whispering that history is repeating. She pulls out her phone, the photo glaring between them like an accusation. "Then who's this?" she presses, her voice dropping to a whisper, heavy with hurt. Ethan glances at the image, his expression unreadable, a wall slamming down where warmth once lingered. "A client, that's all," he insists, but his eyes dart away, avoiding hers, the evasion cutting deeper than any outright lie. Sophia's throat tightens, the memory of Jake's abandonment weaving with this new wound, each moment a thread in a tapestry of doubt. She turns away, her vision blurring with unshed tears, the office's glass walls closing in like a cage. Ethan rises, his hand reaching for her, a fleeting gesture of desperation, but she steps back, the chasm between them widening. The space, once a symbol of her fresh start, now feels like a trap, its sterile light exposing every crack in her trust. Clara appears at the doorway, her presence a silent intrusion, her gaze flickering between them with a sharpness that misses nothing. "Everything all right?" she asks, her voice neutral, but her eyes piercing. Sophia nods, forcing a brittle smile, but her heart races. Clara's earlier warning, his complicated past, resurfacing like a specter she can't dismiss. What is Ethan hiding? Is the single dad CEO protecting her, or guarding a truth that could shatter everything? As Sophia leaves the office, Manhattan's dusk wraps around her, the air heavy with the promise of rain, its chill seeping into her bones. She clutches her coat, the anonymous text replaying in her mind, each word a seed of mistrust taking root. Ethan watches her go, his jaw clenched, his own secrets simmering beneath his polished surface. He sinks back into his chair, his fingers brushing against a locked drawer, its contents a mystery even Clara doesn't fully know. The woman in the photo, Elena, lingers in his thoughts. Not a lover, but a figure tied to a past he's fought to bury, a shadow he's kept from Sophia to protect her. As a millionaire dad, Ethan has crafted a life of control, but Sophia's questions threaten to unravel it, each one a spark that could ignite the truths he's held at bay. Sophia steps into the elevator, the descent mirroring the sinking weight in her chest. The twins wait at the penthouse, their innocence her only anchor, but even their smiles can't erase the doubt now etched into her soul. She thinks of the note, its chilling message, and the photo, its unspoken accusation, each a weight pulling her closer to a truth she's not sure she's ready to face. The elevator doors slide open, revealing the empty lobby, where a faint sound echoes. A soft click, like a door closing in the distance, or a secret being locked away forever. Twilight drapes Central Park in hues of violet and amber, the air crisp with the scent of fallen leaves and distant rain. The paths wind through ancient trees, their branches casting long shadows that dance with Sophia Lane's racing thoughts. She pushes a stroller where Lily and Rose giggle, their tiny hands clutching leaves they've gathered, oblivious to the storm brewing in their mother's heart. Sophia's new life with Ethan Caldwell, a single dad millionaire, teeters on a fragile edge, the anonymous text and cryptic note still burning in her mind. The photo of Ethan with the mysterious Elena haunts her, his evasive dismissal in the office cutting deeper than she'd expected. As a single mother, Sophia knows betrayal's sting, and the fear of repeating her past with Jake claws at her resolve. Yet, the twins' laughter anchors her, a reminder of why she's fighting to trust again. As they near a quiet clearing, a figure steps into view, his silhouette achingly familiar. Sophia's breath catches. Jake, her ex, stands before her, his once charming smile now tinged with weariness. His worn jacket and unshaven jaw speak of a life unraveling, but his eyes lock onto the twins with a hunger that chills her. "I want to see my girls," he says, his voice low, almost pleading. Sophia's heart lurches, torn between fury and the guilt he's always wielded like a weapon. Lily and Rose peer curiously from the stroller, sensing the tension but too young to grasp its weight. Sophia steps protectively in front of them, her voice steady despite the tremor within. "You lost that right when you left us," she says, her words sharp but brittle. Jake's expression shifts, a calculated softness masking his intent. He speaks of regret, of wanting to make amends, but his words drip with manipulation, stirring the shame Sophia has fought to bury. The encounter leaves her shaken, her mind spiraling as she guides the twins back to Ethan's penthouse. Moonlight bathes the sleek interiors, casting silver reflections across the marble floors, but the warmth of the space feels hollow. Ethan, a millionaire dad whose kindness once promised salvation, now seems a puzzle she can't solve. Late at night, when the twins are asleep, Sophia notices him in his study, the door ajar, his voice hushed as he speaks into his phone. The name Elena slips from his lips, each syllable a dagger to Sophia's fragile trust. She lingers in the shadows, her heart pounding, catching fragments of cryptic phrases. Keep it quiet. No one can know. The calls, frequent and secretive, amplify the doubts sown by the anonymous text. Is Ethan, the single dad CEO, hiding a life she's been too naive to see? The penthouse, once a sanctuary, now hums with unspoken tension. Sophia's days at Ethan's company blur into nights of restless thoughts, her work meticulous, but her spirit fraying. She watches Ethan with the twins, his laughter genuine as he builds pillow forts, yet the image of him with Elena lingers, a stain she can't erase. Clara, Ethan's assistant, hovers on the periphery, her cryptic warnings about his complicated past, now a constant echo. Sophia's heart aches for the connection they'd begun to forge, but Jake's reappearance and Ethan's secrecy threaten to unravel it all. She clutches the note, "Don't trust her," hidden in her pocket, wondering if it's about her or someone else entirely. The weight of her past, of Jake's betrayal, presses against her, making Ethan's evasiveness feel like a prelude to heartbreak. One evening, as moonlight spills through the penthouse windows, the tension snaps. Ethan emerges from his study, his phone still in hand, his expression guarded. Sophia stands in the living room, the twins' drawings scattered on the coffee table, her resolve hardened by days of doubt. Her voice trembles but holds firm as she confronts him, her words spilling like a dam breaking. "Who is Elena, Ethan? Why are you hiding her?" The accusation hangs heavy, the air thick with the ghosts of their unspoken fears. Ethan's eyes darken, his posture stiffening as if struck. "It's not what you think," he says, his tone sharp, defensive, but the strain in his voice betrays him. Sophia steps closer, her heart a battlefield of hope and hurt. "Then tell me the truth," she demands, her voice cracking with the weight of her fear. Ethan hesitates, his fingers tightening around his phone, a single dad millionaire caught in a web of his own making. The silence stretches, each second a wound. Sophia's mind races to Jake's manipulative pleas, to the anonymous text, to the note's chilling warning. She sees the twins' faces in her mind, their trust in Ethan a mirror of her own faltering faith. "I can't do this again," she whispers, more to herself than to him, her voice breaking. Ethan reaches for her, his hand hovering, but she pulls back, the space between them a chasm of mistrust. The argument escalates, their voices low but fierce, each word a spark threatening to ignite. Sophia accuses him of deceit, of building a facade, while Ethan's frustration mounts, his secrets locked behind a wall he won't breach. Clara appears at the edge of the room, her presence a silent witness, her eyes flickering with unease. She says nothing, but her glance at Ethan carries a weight Sophia can't decipher. The confrontation ends abruptly, Sophia turning away, her chest heaving with unshed tears. She retreats to the guest suite, the twins' soft breathing a fragile comfort. Ethan remains in the living room, his jaw clenched, his phone buzzing with another call he ignores. The moonlight casts his shadow long and solitary, a millionaire dad wrestling with truths he's not ready to share. He thinks of Elena, not a lover but a key to a past he's buried, and of Sophia, whose pain mirrors his own. Sophia sits on the edge of the bed, her hands trembling as she clutches the note, its words now a mantra of doubt. Jake's return has reopened wounds she thought had healed, and Ethan's secrecy threatens to break her anew. The penthouse, with its glittering views, feels like a gilded cage, each corner hiding a secret she's desperate to uncover. As a single dad CEO, Ethan's world is one of power and control, but Sophia senses a vulnerability beneath it, a crack that might destroy them both. She thinks of Lily and Rose, their futures tied to her choices, and resolves to find answers, no matter the cost. As she slips the note back into her pocket, A faint sound pierces the silence. A soft creak from the hallway, like footsteps retreating into the dark. The penthouse holds its breath, waiting for the truth to surface. A solitary lamp casts a dim, amber glow across Ethan Caldwell's office, its glass walls shimmering with the restless heartbeat of Manhattan's skyline. The scent of polished wood and aged leather fills the air, heavy with the weight of unspoken truths, the late hour wrapping the space in a silence that sharpens every thought. Across the city, in the quiet of Ethan's penthouse, Sophia Lane sits alone, the twins, Lily and Rose, asleep in their room, their gentle breaths a fragile tether to her resolve. Her laptop screen bathes her face in pale light, each click a step deeper into the labyrinth of secrets threatening her trust in Ethan, a single-dad millionaire. The anonymous text, the cryptic note, "Don't trust her," and Jake's manipulative reappearance have spun a web of doubt, its threads tightening around her heart. As a single mother, Sophia has clawed her way through hardship, and the thought of secrets unraveling her daughter's future ignites a fire in her chest, fierce and unyielding. Sophia's fingers hover over the keyboard, her research a desperate dance between precision and panic. The photo of Ethan with Elena, the woman who shattered her fragile faith, burns in her memory. Its caption, "He's not who you think," a taunt that echoes with every keystroke. She scours social media profiles, corporate filings, and obscure news archives, chasing any thread that might reveal Elena's identity. A buried article stops her cold, a fleeting mention of Elena Caldwell, tied to Ethan's company but veiled in ambiguity. The name Caldwell lands like a thunderclap, shaking the foundation of her suspicions. Could Elena be family? The possibility shifts the air, a glimmer of hope tangled with frustration, but the truth remains elusive, locked behind layers of corporate doublespeak and sealed doors. Sophia's jaw tightens, her resolve hardening like steel. As a millionaire dad, Ethan wields power with ease, but she senses a crack in his polished armor, a vulnerability she's determined to uncover. In his office, Ethan sits alone, his tie loosened, a glass of whiskey untouched on his desk, its amber hue mirroring the storm in his eyes. Sophia's accusations weigh heavy, her pain a mirror to the wounds he's buried deep. As a single-dad CEO, he's sculpted an empire from control, each decision a brick in the wall guarding his past. But Sophia's presence has cracked that wall, stirring memories of a life he's fought to forget. He thinks of Elena, his sister, whose late-night calls have fueled Sophia's mistrust. Elena's tireless work to shield their company from their late father's fraud, a scandal that could topple everything, has forced Ethan into a cage of secrecy, its bars tightening with every question Sophia asks. His fingers graze a locked drawer, where documents tied to that dark legacy lie hidden, a dormant volcano he's not ready to unearth. The thought of Sophia walking away, taking Lily and Rose with her, grips his chest with a fear he hasn't known since becoming a millionaire dad. Sophia's search grows frantic, her eyes scanning endless pages until a forgotten email in a company archive catches her attention. It mentions Elena as Ethan's sister, a detail buried beneath years of deliberate silence. Her heart leaps, relief crashing against frustration like waves on a jagged shore. Why did Ethan keep this from her? The answer emerges in another article, this one exposing their father's fraudulent schemes, a scandal that nearly erased the Caldwell name. Elena's role, it becomes clear, is to safeguard the company's future, a mission that demands secrecy at a cost Sophia now understands. Her anger softens, giving way to a pang of empathy. Ethan's evasiveness wasn't betrayal but a shield, forged in shame and duty to protect what he's built. Yet, the note, "Don't trust her," still gnaws at her, a splinter of doubt. Is it about Elena, herself, or another shadow in Ethan's world? She snaps her laptop shut, her mind a whirlwind, resolve burning to confront Ethan and lay bare the truth. The next evening, moonlight spills through the penthouse windows, casting silver threads across the study where Sophia finds Ethan. His face is etched with exhaustion, the echoes of their argument lingering like a storm's aftermath. She steps forward, her voice steady but soft, carrying the weight of her discovery. "Elena's your sister," she says. Not a question, but a quiet unveiling, the words slicing through the tension. Ethan's eyes widen, a flicker of relief flashing before guilt shadows his features. He rises, his hands clenched, a single dad millionaire laid bare under her gaze. "I should have told you," he admits, his voice low, raw with regret. Heavy, pleading. He confesses the truth. Their father's fraud, Elena's relentless efforts to bury it, and his fear that the scandal would poison Sophia's view of him. "I couldn't risk losing you," he says, his words a desperate bridge, his vulnerability a beacon in the cold room. Sophia's heart aches, the pieces of their fractured trust clicking into place. The anonymous text, she realizes, was a calculated strike, likely from a rival or a ghost from Ethan's past, meant to sow discord. She steps closer, her fingers brushing his, a tentative spark that warms the chill between them. The trust they've built, though battered, begins to mend, each confession a stitch in a wound that's bled too long. But Sophia's battle isn't over. Jake's shadow still looms, his manipulative pleas a threat to her daughter's peace. Fueled by the clarity of Ethan's truth, she resolves to face Jake, to sever his hold once and for all, reclaiming the future she's fought so hard to build. The next morning, Sophia tracks Jake to a rundown diner on the city's edge, its neon sign flickering in the gray dawn, casting a sickly glow. He slouches in a booth, his once charming facade faded, his eyes darting with unease. Sophia stands tall, her voice firm, a mother forged in fire. "Stay away from my girls," she commands, her words cutting through his flimsy excuses. Jake's bravado crumbles, his promises of redemption hollow against the strength she's found. She sees him clearly now, a man who will never match the fatherhood Ethan embodies with ease. Sophia turns away, her heart lighter, the weight of her past lifting with each step. The diner's door swings shut, the morning air sharp and clean, a promise of freedom that fills her lungs. Back at the penthouse, Sophia finds Ethan with the twins, their laughter a melody as he helps them stack a wobbly tower of blocks. Clara hovers nearby, her usual sharpness softened by a rare smile, her loyalty to Ethan steadfast despite her earlier reservations. Sophia watches, her heart swelling with a clarity she hasn't felt in years. Ethan, a millionaire dad, has given her more than shelter. He's given her hope, a chance to rise from the ashes of her past. The note's warning, she suspects, was a stray arrow from Ethan's corporate battles, its threat dulled by the truth they've uncovered. She slips it from her pocket, its words fading like a bad dream, and tucks it away, choosing trust over the shadows of fear. As night falls, Ethan and Sophia stand by the penthouse windows, the city sprawling below, its lights weaving a tapestry of possibility. Their hands brush, a silent vow to face the future together, their scars no longer chains but stepping stones to a life they both yearn for. Sophia thinks of Lily and Rose, safe in their beds, and of Ethan, whose heart beats in rhythm with hers. The trust they've rebuilt is fragile but fierce, a flame that can weather any storm. Yet, in the penthouse's quiet, a faint buzz pierces the moment. Ethan's phone, left on a table, flares with a new message, its sender unknown. The screen glows, a single word stark against the dark. Caldwell. The air shifts, a whisper of danger curling like smoke, hinting at a truth still lurking, waiting to break the surface. The rooftop of Ethan Caldwell's penthouse gleams under a velvet Manhattan sky, the city skyline ablaze with 1,000 twinkling lights, each a silent witness to the moment unfolding. A soft breeze carries the hum of the city below, mingling with the faint notes of a violin drifting from a hidden speaker. Sophia Lane stands at the edge of the rooftop, her breath catching as she takes in the view, her heart still reeling from the truth she's uncovered. Lily and Rose, her twins, scamper nearby, their giggles echoing as they chase fireflies, their joy a beacon in the night. Ethan, a single dad millionaire, watches from a distance, his tailored jacket discarded, his eyes tracing Sophia's silhouette with a tenderness that belies his guarded past. The air is thick with anticipation, the weight of their journey, doubt, betrayal, and redemption, converging in this single fragile moment. Sophia's mind drifts to the past weeks, to the note, the anonymous text, and Jake's shadow, all now fading like distant echoes. Her confrontation with Jake at the diner had severed his hold, and Ethan's confession about Elena, his sister, had rebuilt the trust she'd feared was lost. Yet a quiet unease lingers, stirred by the cryptic message on Ethan's phone. Caldwell. A hint of danger she's chosen to set aside for now. As a single mother, Sophia has learned to fight for her daughters, but tonight, she feels something new. A hope that dares to take root. Ethan approaches, his steps deliberate, his presence a steady anchor. Clara, ever watchful, lingers near the rooftop door, her sharp gaze softened by a rare warmth, as if sensing the shift in the air. Ethan takes Sophia's hand, his touch warm, grounding. The twins pause their play, drawn to the quiet intensity between their mother and the man who's become their protector. He leads her to a small table adorned with flickering candles, their flames dancing in the breeze. Sophia's heart races, sensing the weight of what's to come. Ethan's eyes, usually so guarded, are open, vulnerable, a single-dad CEO stripped of his armor. "Sophia," he begins, his voice low but steady. "There's something I've kept from you, not out of deceit, but because I wasn't ready to face it myself." Her breath hitches, the city's hum fading as his words pull her in. He reaches into his pocket, producing a small, worn journal, its pages yellowed with time. "Years ago," he says, "when I was just starting out, I heard about a young mother struggling to save her twins. They needed medical care, expensive, urgent. I didn't know her name, but I paid for it, every cent, anonymously." Sophia's eyes widen, a tremor running through her. She remembers those desperate days, the hospital bills piling up, the mysterious donor who'd given Lily and Rose a chance at life. "It was you," she whispers, her voice breaking, the realization crashing over her like a wave. Ethan nods, his gaze unwavering. "I never knew it was you, Sophia, until you walked back into my life. Our fates were tied long before we met again." The plot twist lands like a spark, igniting the threads of their story. Ethan, the millionaire dad she'd doubted, had been her savior years before, his kindness a silent bridge between their pasts. Tears well in Sophia's eyes, not of pain, but of awe, as she sees him anew. A man whose heart has always reached for hers, even in the shadows. The twins, sensing the moment, toddle over, their small hands tugging at Ethan's sleeves. He kneels, pulling them close, his laughter mingling with their squeals, a family bound by more than chance. Sophia's chest swells, the weight of her past, Jake's betrayal, her years of struggle, melting under the warmth of this truth. Ethan rises, his hand finding hers again, but this time, he drops to one knee. The city holds its breath, the stars above seeming to lean closer. From his pocket he draws a small velvet box, revealing a ring that catches the moonlight, its simplicity a testament to a love deeper than wealth. "Sophia Lane," he says, his voice thick with emotion. "You and the girls are my home. Will you marry me?" The question hangs, a promise woven from every trial they've faced. Sophia's tears spill over, her heart answering before her lips can form the word. "Yes," she says, her voice a trembling vow, forgiving her past in the act of embracing her future. Ethan slips the ring onto her finger, and the twins cheer, their joy a melody that seals the moment. He pulls Sophia into his arms, their embrace a sanctuary under the stars, the city skyline a canvas of their triumph. Clara steps forward, a rare smile breaking through her usual reserve, her nod a quiet blessing. The rooftop, once a stage for uncertainty, now holds a family forged in love and resilience. Sophia rests her head against Ethan's chest, his heartbeat a steady rhythm, a single dad millionaire who's given her more than wealth, a place to belong. Months later, the penthouse glows with morning light, its rooms filled with the chaos of a new day. Lily and Rose dart through the living room, their drawings pinned to every wall, while Sophia cradles a newborn in her arms, a baby boy with Ethan's eyes. Ethan, now a millionaire dad to 3, kneels beside her, his hand gentle on their son's tiny head. The scandal that once threatened his empire has faded, Elena's work ensuring its survival, and the cryptic message, Caldwell proved to be a rival's empty threat, now forgotten. Sophia looks at her family, her heart full, the pain of her past a distant memory. She thinks of the twins' laughter, of Ethan's proposal, of the journal that tied their fates, and knows this is her forever. The penthouse, once a gilded cage, is now a home, its walls echoing with love and second chances. Sophia and Ethan stand together, their newborn between them, the twins chatter a joyful backdrop. They've faced secrets, doubts, and shadows, but their love has emerged stronger, a testament to the power of trust. As the sun rises over Manhattan, casting golden rays across their faces, Sophia feels a peace she never thought possible, a heartwarming triumph over every storm. This is their story, a billionaire romance woven with mystery, heartbreak, and redemption. Share it with friends across America to spread the warmth of their journey, and subscribe for more heart-pounding romances that remind us love can conquer all. But as the camera pans across the city, a faint shadow lingers, a single unopened letter on Ethan's desk, its seal unbroken, whispering of a secret yet to be told. Share this story with your friends in the US to spread the emotion. Follow our channel Millionaire Story TV to discover more dramatic love journeys.